Not long ago, a great battle was fought upon the peak of Weathertop between Gandalf the Grey and the Nine. Evil has been drawn to Amon's soul, where the Ranger Candaith seeks to hold the hill for the Rangers of the North.
Welcome back everyone to Pineleaf Plays the Archer, the Lord of the Rings Online, and today we are going to make a stand at Amon's Soul, which is a skirmish that opens up at level 25, which is my current level. Now this particular skirmish is probably more suited for a red line or a yellow line hunter because you are surrounded here. It's very nice on a hunter because you can shoot your opposition very easily and everything comes to you. So it is very good for a hunter in general. I don't think this is probably the best line in which to run your hunter for this. But of course I'm trying out all of the hunters using this particular line. And the reason for that, of course, this is the line that's all about mobility, and there's very little here that really takes advantage of your mobility, since you are in a rather confined area through this skirmish. There aren't exactly as many opportunities for kiting around and the like. But we'll see what we can do. Of course, if we kill everything before it reaches us, it really doesn't matter whether or not I can move about. Like that. Especially when they're the weak ones, because everything comes in here at one of two levels, either a low one, based on, of course, your size of group, but for solo it'll be weak, meaning it'll go down very quickly, or hail. The hail ones are able to take a bit more. Of course, if I go and run way off in my area, then that's another problem. Now, of course, we do have the matter of the torches. Yes. There we go. Alright, let's take care of this guy. Alright. And now they can finish that up as I go to the next campfire. And like that. That's my basic pattern, 3 and 2. It just seems like that if I'm ready to fire, they like to go on the other side of the torch. I should keep that in mind. I should probably use a quick fire option rather than this long induction one. Like barrage, if I have enough focus, using barrage is probably a good idea in this particular skirmish. So let me try that, see how that works. Of course, wasting all that barrage on a weak is probably wasn't the greatest idea. I probably should use that all on the lieutenant. But that's the way things are. Alright, there we go. Completed Dourhand Keg Master Slayer. Indeed. Dourhand Keg Slayer advanced. Alright, let's make sure. Let me make sure I have plenty of focus when things come back. And they all come back just as the fires go out, right? That'll be the way things will time itself. That would be typical. Alright, take care of this bat. And pretty good at lasting, okay. Well, at least I'm able to use it somewhat. And move about, even if not perfectly so. I need a little. Problem is, you don't get much time to shrieking comes. Oh, speaking of bats. Now this is a real painful counter. Let's see what I could do about it. Yeah, alright. That's how you do it. Use it against the use barrage on the lieutenants. They seem to go down pretty quickly that way. And that'll handle that particular scenario. Alright, good. Next! And who knows, maybe someday I'll get a chance to actually go after that bat. I know I can do it between assaults, but I do have to worry about what the other encounter is going to be. Let's see. If I don't get a lieutenant here, then it'll be a good time to go after the bat. Any lieutenant? No lieutenants I can see. Good. So, time for the bat. Yeah. Now, the thing about the bat is he has a habit of going into anti-exploit mode, or as I call it, monster exploit mode, because I feel like the monster is doing the exploiting rather than the player. But that's aside. But it looks like he stayed fine through that. Alright, good. Actually, that was probably one of the easier times I've had with that particular encounter. Now, why am I doing that? I don't know. Just for giggles, I guess. Let's go try the other one. Alright, on to this side. Actually, this would probably be a good way for a split arrow. That'll work. And now the campfire's burned out. Okay. Torches. 1, 2, 3. And quickly get back up my focus. Ah, weak. Yeah, he goes down easily. And now I get to take care of the north ones. And this should hold them. I have a feeling I'm going to level before this is over, which will certainly make the ending of the skirmish pretty easy. It's easy enough as it is already. This is certainly not a particularly difficult one solo. The only tricky thing you have, I think, in this particular skirmish is if you're in a group run with a large group, you will have to worry about keeping candidates alive. Rarely a thing in a solo run, though. I have to admit there have been 1 or 2 times where I haven't paid attention properly, you know, about things like that. Right, make sure I interrupt him properly. That's the thing you have to do, is make sure you know which lieutenant is coming out. If you're not paying attention, you have a venomous blood arrow come behind you. Oh well, this is going to be a fun one. Yeah, if you have a venomous blood arrow come behind you and they shoot that fear arrow on you and then you get stunned for 10 seconds, that could be a real painful experience. Fortunately, I caught that one in time and it interrupted him. Of course, there's also fear potions and the like. Yep. Well, since I've already leveled, obviously. Oh, I got the campfire skill. That's good to see. And this time I'm not going to relight the fires, which is going to make it painful if I have a nasty lieutenant here. But there isn't much I can do about that because I want to be able to face the counter. The counter should be here soon, I would hope. Right? Lights out. Let's see. Okay, now that I've managed to activate the encounter, I can now relight these and take care of what's his face. Oh, there you are! Hello! Yeah, ideal time to do this one. This is one of those encounters that I sometimes save till the end after the skirmish is over because you don't do that for this particular encounter. The trouble with doing that is, of course, if you want credit for the deed, you have to do it during the skirmish. Which is why I did that this time. Alright. Now let me light this other torch. And I'll be back on track. It is nice during the third assault to have them a little bit out of sync with each other. I haven't been following that rule as much as I used to in the past. But if they're slightly out of sync, then there's a chance that at least one of them will be able to get through the entire boss fight. Because there's nothing worse than having all of the torches go out in the middle of the boss fight. Well, I suppose getting some bad lieutenant, a leadfoot brute come after you during the boss fight. It could be even worse. Actually, not during the boss fight. I mean, in the middle of the skirmish, it pounds upon everything. Because this isn't exactly the most comfortable skirmish in which to get. I know there's no such thing as a comfortable time for a leadfoot brute. Just be happy they don't come out in solo run. That's all I got about leadfoot brutes. Only full fellowship and raids. For a good reason. Alright, there we go. Northwest. I just leave Candidates to that. Candidates is doing pretty well. I once lost Candidates to a Bloodrook. I was thinking, this skirmish, right? Bloodrook, only 2 opponents at a time. How bad can a Bloodrook be if you have only 2 opponents at a time? Well, apparently Candidate demonstrated that yes, you don't need 10 enemies on top of you to make a Bloodrook a nasty fight. Alright, there we go. Hello? Oh, I've already got a full slot anyway. Let's go. Now down. Uh-oh, who's Lieutenant? Oh, Shepherd. I would like to kill him quickly. Yeah, alright. Got him just before he managed to bring those summoned things with him. Alright, now let's get those last 2 lit. And I'll at least have 2 torches all the way through. Nothing like doing all this fun stuff through a thunderstorm. Yep. The weather on Weathertop. Yeah, okay, yeah, that was a bit easy. It does help that. Oh, actually, I wasn't even strength stance on that. I probably should have been in strength stance, you would think, in order to maximize my damage. I know, I get to the end of it and say, oh, I could have been in strength stance. Yeah, right. Alright, collect my bounty, and I am done. And that is it for today's episode, and next time, we are going to storm Methodius. And speaking of storms, it seems to be storming out here in the Lone Lands. This is Pineleaf Needles reminding you to skirmish responsibly.